Okay. Good morning, everyone. We will discuss about cloud computing. So basically, we have set up the infrastructure using physical servers or on-premises servers. So physical servers or on-premises server, these are like physical devices which we can purchase them. We can use that setup for deploying applications. But the issue is cost-wise. You need to purchase like many servers. We have to take care of maintenance. We have to take care of uh, installing the softwares, installing operating systems, and troubleshooting. Everything we have to take care of this setup for physical servers. So instead of doing these things, we have a concept called cloud computing. Cloud computing means what? You don't need to purchase any kind of servers. You don't need to purchase any kind of database, RAM, infrastructure, nothing. Instead, some vendors will provide you these services. Like Amazon company will provide you cloud services through a platform called AWS. Google companies also providing cloud services like servers, database, RAM, whatever infrastructure you need. We can utilize the services from Google company through a platform called GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Microsoft also providing cloud services through Azure platform. Not only these three, we have many clouds like IBM Cloud. IBM also providing cloud services through IBM Cloud. Oracle company also providing through Oracle Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, Tencent Cloud. There are many types of cloud vendors, but out of them, the most popular one is AWS. AWS Cloud Platform is the most used cloud platform compared to all other platforms. This Amazon company has set up their data centers across the globe in 34 regions. So instead of buying the infrastructure, Amazon has set up the data centers for all the users across the globe. Whoever in need, we can request them. They will provide the data centers. They'll provide the infrastructure from their data center through AWS Cloud Platform. Let's see about AWS Global Infrastructure. We have total 34 regions, and these 34 regions are splitted into 108 availability zones. 108 availability zones. In India, we have only 2 data centers. That is, one data center is in Hyderabad region, which is launched in 2022 and split it into 3 availability zones. And the other data center is in Mumbai, launched in 2016, 8 years ago, split it into 3 zones. You take any availability, any region that is split into minimum 3 zones. See, 3 zones. 3 zones. Here also 3 zones. Osaka, 3. Tokyo, 4 zones. I said right, minimum 3 zones. Why not only one zone? Why they are not keeping data center only in one place within the region means if some natural disaster occurred, then the entire data center, all the applications will be lost, connections will be lost. For maintaining high availability of our application, they are splitting the data centers within the region into multiple availability zones. So that if a natural disaster, anything occurred in that one particular zone, still we can access the applications in the other availability zones. assume this is um, Mumbai region. We also call it as AP South 1, means Asia Pacific South 1. For each and every region, we have regional codes. For Mumbai, we call as AP South 1. And this Mumbai region has split into 3 availability zones. It is split into 3 zones, and each availability zone is having its own code. Asia Pacific South 1A, Asia Pacific South 1B, Asia Pacific South 1C. They maintain at least like 50 kilometers radius between each availability zone. Like 50 kilometers between 1A, 1B, 50 kilometers between 1B, 1C, and 50 between 1A, 1C. Minimum 50 kilometers radius they'll maintain a distance of between one availability zone to another availability zone. And in this availability zone, like we have data centers, like we have plenty of servers. I'll show you how it looks like. AWS data center. Amazon AWS data center in New Mumbai. See, it's a big place with millions of servers inside it. This is not a IT company. This is a place where like some lakhs of servers are present inside it like this. Inside that building, you can see the servers like this. Okay. Why? Because we cannot afford. If I want to start an IT company, I need at least 100 servers. I cannot afford to buy 100 servers. So for people like us, Amazon only buying this infrastructure, Amazon only doing everything set up, and they're giving the infrastructure for us on rental basis. So Arvind is asking 100 servers. So we'll give 100 servers and we'll charge the bill for every month. So whatever the infrastructure we utilize, they'll calculate, they'll generate the bill for every month, and for every month they'll generate the bills and we need to pay the bills. Here we are not going to buy any infrastructure. As a cloud engineer, I'm looking for some services. I'm looking for some infrastructure like database, RAM, storage, some virtual servers to deploy some applications. So I'm not going to buy any infrastructure. Instead, I'll create one AWS account, because AWS account is a platform to access this service data centers. Whatever services I want to utilize from Amazon company, this is the mediator, like this is a platform. I need to create one AWS account. From AWS account, I can create the infrastructure anywhere. If I want to launch a server in Mumbai's 1A zone, I can launch. If I want to create a database in Mumbai's AP South 1B, means here also, yeah, I can create. Anywhere I can create the infrastructure. For whatever the infrastructure I created, they'll generate the bills for every month. I need to pay the bills. This is a rental basis. How much infrastructure we utilized, based on that, the bills are generated. Okay. I'm giving unmute option to all. If you have any questions, you can ask. have given unmute option.
I have a question. So, for a customer, so does it mean at default one region has multiple copies of different zones for any given customer?
That will not be happen automatically or by default. We need to keep the copies of in multiple region. So I have an application which is running in Asia Pacific South 1A, like Swiggy application. I deployed in some servers, some 100 servers in Asia Pacific South 1A. If you want the same application should be replicated in Tokyo region or North Virginia region, you should be aware of, like, if I do the things in North Virginia, I'll get the double bills. Normally, if here I'm getting $1,000 for every month. If I want to replicate them into North Virginia, then I'll get $2,000 per month. So if you're ready to pay, yeah, even the budget is more, but still I need high availability means it's up to you. It is not by default, it will happen. We are going to do manually. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it clear? I think Vijay Lakshmi. Okay. Ashwini, you understood what is cloud computing? So for cloud computing, I'll give you one more example for everyone with some general example, basic. Uh, it may look silly, but that is an apt example. So I want milk every day, like buffalo milk. I need daily 1 liter for my home. So for this buffalo milk for daily 1 liter, should I buy a buffalo and keep that in my home? Like feed that buffalo with grass every day to get the milk. Means direct source. From where I get the milk? From buffalo only. For milk, like option number one, you need to buy a buffalo, you need to invest 1 lakh. You need to maintain that buffalo, like every day you need to clean it, you need to give the food to buffalo. It will give you milk. This is one option. Option number two, you no need to go directly to the source. Instead, you will have some mediators, like some dairy centers or some companies. They will have some thousands of buffaloes with them. They'll do take care of maintenance. They'll feed the buffaloes, and whatever milk they get, they'll sell that milk in the market. I'll take that milk from them. Just whatever you need. I need 1 liter of milk. Yo, pay 80 rupees, get 1 liter of milk. Tomorrow also I need milk. Pay 80 rupees, get 1 liter. Option number one is like we are setting up our own data center in our office. Option number two is like we are utilizing the services from Amazon company. We are utilizing the services from Google company as a cloud services. Whatever the infrastructure we need, we are getting the infrastructure and we are paying that. For how much you are utilizing. If you need 2 liters, you need pay like 160. If you need 3 liters, you pay like 180, like 250 something. But here, it is like you are purchasing it, you are owning, you are taking care of, you are doing a maintenance. So that's the difference between physical data centers and cloud computing. Is that clear now? I think I have given unmute option. No, yeah. Check, I have given unmute option. No.
Yeah, Arvind, it's clear.
Because cloud computing is the concept what we are learning here. AWS is comes under cloud computing. Even Google Cloud Platform comes under cloud computing. Azure comes under cloud computing. Concept is same anywhere. You learn anything. You learn GCP, you learn Azure, you learn AWS. Concept is same, but the difference is terminologies will be different. Like Ola Cab will give you cab services. Uber also will giving you cab services. But what is the difference? Both belongs to different companies. Here, if it is showing For the same distance 200, the other one will maybe show 210 rupees. Price variation may be there. Some features might be the difference, but services will be same. Here also in cloud computing, AWS cloud computing, Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, services will be same, but terminologies might be different. Console will be different. Charges will be different. That's it. Fine. Someone is okay. Saying yes. And coming to certification part. These are the different types of cloud vendors in the market, like AWS Cloud has having 32% share market. Like most of the companies are using AWS Cloud. How much percentage? 32% of the companies are using AWS Cloud. Azure Cloud, 22% using. Google Cloud, 11%. Like Alibaba Cloud, IBM, Salesforce, Oracle Cloud, Tencent Cloud. Out of them, the popular one is AWS. Coming to certification. These are the different types of certifications in AWS. If you see here, this one, cloud practitioner, this is the level 1, level 2, level 3. In level 1, we have only one certification, that is cloud practitioner. If you want to do this cloud practitioner certification, you need to book the slot from Amazon website. The cost will be around 10,000. But for doing this certification, do you really need to join any course? Means not required. You can do self-learn. You can go through YouTube tutorials. With that knowledge, you can attempt this certification. They will ask you multiple choice questions. If you attempt all the questions and like if you get at least 76%, you will be getting cloud practitioner certification. But this is like very basic level. And in the second level, we have 3 certifications: solutions architect at associate level, SysOps administrator at associate level, and AWS developer. These 3 certifications are at associate level only. So for doing these certifications, you need to have at least 3 years of experience. Means a person who is having 3 years of experience in AWS and DevOps, he can crack any of these certifications easily. But what about you? You don't have any experience. You're directly undergoing training. You don't have any practical experience. Then can't you do the certification? Means you can do. With whatever the course content we are giving here, with that course content, you can keep 3+ years of experience in AWS as well as DevOps. You can keep 3 years of experience in both AWS as well as DevOps. That much of knowledge we are giving. 3 years of knowledge will be shared with this course content, and you can attempt any of these certifications. And the price for the certification is $177. I think it is 14,000 approximately in Indian rupees. They will ask 65 multiple choice questions. Out of 65, you need to attempt minimum 48. Then only you will get certification from AWS saying that like so and so person certified as AWS solutions architect, and they will generate one unique ID number. So if we have that ID number, like you can validate that ID number in online in the browser, whether you got really certification or not. Otherwise, people might edit also, like I have a certification. No, if they'll generate a unique number, that number, if you validate in the browser, it will show all the details, your name, your certification attempted date, when it will expire, everything. Now the question is it mandatory to do these certifications? Means no, it is not mandatory to do all these certifications. There is no rule like if you are certified, then only you will get the job. Then only the interview will select you. No, they will not see only your certification. Certification is like 5% chance, but remaining 90%, 95% is like how you are performing in the interview, whether you are answering all the questions what they are asking, whether you are meeting their expectations, they'll see. So what if you have done the certification? No, certification is not a big deal. If you pay 3-4 thousand to the institutes, I mean that center, right, examination center, they will write the answers on behalf of you. You need to share the screen, they'll attempt the things. Nowadays this is become very common. So certification is not a big deal. If you pay 3-4K, they will write. But if you don't answer anything and you're saying like I'm a certified AWS solutions architect, do you think they'll select you if you're not answering anything? But you're saying I'm certified. Tell me. In that case, they will not see your certification because it's a live proof you're not answering anything. You will be rejected. But even though you did not do any certification, you're attempting all the answers, like you're attending the interview with good knowledge, you're answering all the questions, you'll get a good impression like, yeah, he's knowing everything. But if they ask you, why didn't you do the certification? I did not get the chance, but I'll book the slot maybe next month and I'll do the certification. You can tell like that. But it is not mandatory uh, to do certification. It's optional only. If you do, that will add weightage to your profile. And next level is professional. In professional, we have only two: solutions architect and DevOps engineer. To do this certification, first you need to finish this. To do this one, you need to finish this both. No need to do professional level. Associate level is more than enough. This one only like bit tough. So we cannot go for professional until you finish associate level. Any doubts in certification? No doubts?
Yes, sir. No worries.
Oh,
Sir, for the professional also, the money will be varies.
yeah. Yes. So you need to book the slots from these websites. AWS Solutions Architect Associate. Exam. Yeah. This one, like certification. To book the slot, you need to go through the website, schedule an exam. You need to sign into your AWS certification and training and certification account. If you already have an account, you need to sign in. If you don't have, you need to sign up. Anyway, like through Builder ID or Partner Network, like any of these methods, you can sign in. Or if you don't have, you sign up, create, and you need to book the slot. Like choose the date, time, which examination center. You need to book the slot and you can attempt for the exam. Like you need to pay
It
the,
is not an online exam.
it's online exam. Two ways. You can write the exam by sitting in your home also. Your screen will be shared, your camera will be turned on to the AWS center people. Like that, they will monitor you from different countries. We don't know from which country they will monitor you, but you should sit in a single room. You should be only there. They'll see your entire room. They'll ask you to switch on camera, show all the four sides of your room, show the table, everything they'll ask you to show. And you're only one person should be sitting in the room and you need to write the exams. And the other option is offline. You can go to any of the center, like you can book the slot to any of the nearest centers, like Pearson Institute, like some examination centers will be there, right? Authorized centers. You can book the slot in their institute and you can write offline also. Okay. Someone is pinging. Can Azure or GCP companies hire AWS knowledge people or no? If the project is having requirement for Azure, obviously they'll look for Azure skill set people. Similarly for GCP also, Umesh. But you can manage. If you learn AWS, you can manage Azure as well as GCP also. Only the thing is, terminologies will be changed. Okay. Yes. And yeah, I think we have discussed these things, right? Differences between physical data centers and cloud computing. Did we discuss these things in our introduction class?
Yes.
Fine. Yeah. So that's all. That's all for today. And in next class, we'll be discussing about AWS account creation because we need to start practicing, right? We need to create AWS account. Once we create AWS account, then we are going to launch virtual machines, or you can call it as instances. You can call them servers. You can call virtual machines anything. To learn AWS as well as DevOps, one thing is prerequisite, that is Linux. Linux is mandatory and it is prerequisite to learn before AWS and DevOps. So first our course starts with Linux. Like what is Linux operating system? What is the difference between Windows and Linux? What is the hierarchy of Linux file system? And what are the advantages of Linux operating system? How to launch Linux machine? Everything we'll discuss. How to launch Linux. Then we'll start practicing all Linux commands, like creating files, creating directories, copying, renaming, downloading, installing, everything we'll do in Linux. Once we are good at Linux, then we will jump to AWS services. We have lots of AWS services which we are going to learn. Once AWS is done, then we'll jump into DevOps. This will be our like schedule for the course. Any questions? Are you all aware of Linux already?
Some basic knowledge here. When the college, we know about the Linux.
Okay. See, we also need basics. We don't need like complete knowledge on Linux. If you want to learn like complete Linux course, like Linux administration course, it may take minimum 2 months, like 2 months to 3 months duration. But here we don't need that much depth. Basics is sufficient. Even here also I'll teach basics. Whatever required to learn AWS and DevOps, that much knowledge I'll be giving in this Linux. If I explain complete Linux, then it will become a Linux course, not AWS and DevOps course. Okay. So only basics will be covered, which are required for AWS as well as DevOps. Srinavya, you're saying like your friend is working with AWS DevOps and he said he's using Python for scripting. Do we still need to learn Python? It is not mandatory to learn Python. Along with AWS DevOps, we need scripting. That can be anything. You can learn any scripting, whether shell scripting or you can write bash scripting, write the same, and Python. YAML, JSON, any scripting is fine. There is not mandatory to learn only Python. You can learn YAML, you can learn JSON, you can learn Bash, shell, anything, whatever. In our course, I'll be teaching YAML scripting for a few concepts like Ansible. For cloud formation templates, I'll be using YAML scripting and I'll show you practically how to write the script, everything. And for Terraform, I'll show you HCL, Hashy Configuration Language Scripting. Understood, Navya? Not all AWS and DevOps engineers will use Python only. Any scripting is fine, sufficient. Not required, not required. Any other questions? Okay then. Are you going to discuss real-time scenarios? Yes, Umesh. I'll be explaining real-time projects only, where we deploy applications in by creating some real-time infrastructure. We deploy them. There should be communication between front-end application servers and back-end database servers, how the communications are happening between these two things, how the requests are going, everything will be taught, will be discussed. Any questions? If you have any questions, any concerns, please ask. Since this is the first session, I'm not telling everything in the first go because like there are many people to join also. They did not join today. That's the reason I'm not telling all the topics. Would you recommend we do AWS Cloud certificate parallelly like self-learning? No, not recommended to do no, because as I told you, you need to get 76% for doing certification. Assume like you got 75%. 75% is not bad, but according to Amazon company, you will not get certification. Then your money will be wasted. Why to take risk? Is AWS free version and paid version platform similar? Yes, similar only. But here they don't charge anything. In business account, they will charge. Here they'll give for limited time for some free services. Manoj is asking, sir, do we need to execute whatever you say in class along with you? Do we need two laptops? No, no, you don't need any two laptops. See, whatever I say in class, first of all, I teach all the topics theoretically first, then I'll show you practically. Each and every topic, like I'll show you theoretically, I'll explain theoretically first, then I'll show you practically. So after the session is done, after 2-3 hours, you will receive the recorded video to your email ID. You can go through the recorded video once and you can start practicing. You no need to do the things parallelly along with me. Understood, Manoj? Which scripting language is better? Anything is fine. Because all projects, all companies will not use same scripting. Today you work in a project, they might use Python, but once you switch to the other project, They will not use Python there. See, in my complete years of experience, I did not use Python anywhere. That doesn't mean I'm not working in AWS and DevOps. Okay. Anything else? Why you people are silent? No doubts? Okay then, fine. Thank you all. Whoever like not registered, like you can share your number to that meeting, or else you can contact to this number. If you go through this website, Raj Informatica, like, here are the details, contact details. You can contact them for any queries or concerns, fee details, whatever. You can contact them. They'll clarify all your doubts. Thank you. Someone is pinning again. For non-IT guys, quite difficult to remember. Not at all difficult if you practice daily. The regular practice is required. If you don't practice and if you don't maintain a running notes, then definitely you will forget the things. Whatever I'm explaining here, everything you should be note down in a one notebook. You have to maintain one notebook. Whatever I'm teaching every day, you have to write the points. Then only it will be easy for you to remember and you can practice. Understood, Umesh? Right. If you don't have anything, then I'll end the session. Okay, thank you all. Bye. Happy weekend.